Ole Miss is going to have a lot of attention on him tonight.
He can go off, Joe, any given night. 9 20-point games this season, the latest about a week and a half ago against Auburn when he went for 24. And you're right, Ole Miss did a good job containing him in the first meeting in early January. So LSU is hoping that its fortune flips today. This is Corey Chess, their very hard-working freshman. Misses that one, falling away from the basket. And Ole Miss now for the first time into the front court. There are a handful of 1,000-point scorers in that group. Everybody is senior outside of Malik Dia. He is the baby of the group as a junior. Dre Davis, baseline drive, cut off by Chess. Davis working hard. That fall away is in his bag. After the miss, though, LSU across the timeline. So Carter does lead the way, about 17 a game. And so you wonder, can Jordan Sears go off? He is LSU's second leading scorer, but it does feel like they need somebody else perhaps in that starting five or off the bench to go on, have a productive game today in order to perhaps pull off the upset. Jump ball, Ole Miss will gather it in a moment. So there is the 51-year-old from Georgia, that fabulous season at Texas Tech now 6 years ago, leading them to the national championship game. So in his second season here at Ole Miss, last year they won 20 games. This season they take a step further, got off to the 15-2 start. And Joe, they've got a really impressive 6-4 record to begin conference play after the Kentucky victory on Tuesday.
Yeah, started off strong in conference, 4 wins in a row, which is always gives you a little breathing room. But in this league, as we've talked about ad nauseum, it's coming. The storm is coming. Looks like they've weathered the storm now. Great win versus Kentucky. Need this one tonight on the road at LSU.
The 4 losses are all to ranked SEC teams. There are a whole bevy of those any given week. A lot of contact underneath. LSU is going to take over after the Dia miss. Meanwhile, on the other side, there is Beard's coaching counterpart tonight. 3rd season at LSU. Remember, he had all that great success at Murray State. 3 NCAA tournament appearances there. Got the job here March of 22. Now, McMahon and his staff, they have taken a step forward each of the last 2 seasons. NIT a season ago. Right now, they've got the 1-8 SEC mark. They're looking to flip things and snap the skid tonight. Jai Bailey is open for 3, offline. And so Matt Morrell, who exploded for 24 on Tuesday against Kentucky, and for a moment for Ole Miss.
Kevin, I think both these teams are very good in the half-court defensively. Can cause a lot of problems. Who's going to be the team that can get some offensive or defensive rebounds for easy putbacks or to start the break so that they can play in the open floor and not against a set 5?
Yeah, that could be a sneaky X-factor component to this game. In the DNA of this very impressive Ole Miss team is its pressure, tenacious half-court defense. They're one of the more efficient defensive teams in the nation. You can call them the top 15 defensive team nationally. Damian Collins trying to go to work on Morrell. 3 seconds to shoot. Bailey is going to have to put one up. That's contested there by Murray. Chest, solid offensive rebounder, got his hands on it. And ball back to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is just so good at hounding the ball. The ball pressure is going to be premium tonight, as you'll see with their defense. But then that time, Collins gets a mismatch in the post with Morrell. The double team comes, and when the ball comes out of the double team, the rotations are perfect. And that's where Ole Miss can beat you. They can double team. They're all on the same page as far as rotations. Their communication defensively is top-notch.
And they are humming this week particularly. There's another turnover. Jordan Sears to the rim. Couldn't stuff it. Cam Carter, though, does have the first basket for LSU. So that's a couple of nice defensive plays for Sears in the half-court.
Yeah, we're raving about Ole Miss defense, but LSU is very sneaky defensively.
Well, they've got great rim protection. By the way, they're going to say that's a goaltend and hit the backboard. So count the basket. Here was the steal, Joe.
But again, a casual pass, not enough separation with Padula. A lot of dribbling up top without any movement. But good follow there by Carter, staying with the play. Sears was trying to throw one down on him.
Boy, that is very close. So a moment ago, we saw the signal from our officials that they're going to count the basket. Our crew today, KB Burdett, Jason Baker, and then Garrett Shannon. And Corey Chess protested immediately, thought he got this one cleanly before it hit the backboard.
Not sure that you can. Yeah,
that hit the board, yeah.
But this is what Ole Miss does. They are a very good shot blocking team, especially from the help side and from behind. You think you're going in there, got something easy. Collins, Chess.
Previous call of goaltending has been confirmed. Will be one shot. The foul's on 1 white, 3 reds. Our shooter for 1 shot.
And so now a very unconventional, perhaps, 3-point play here. So after the goaltend, there was contact in the foul, as you heard KB Burdett mention there, on Sears. So you got the and one sequence here for Ole Miss's productive playmaker. Leads them in scoring. Heck, Joe, it leads them in basically everything. Assists, steals, minutes, 3-point percentage. He's had a fabulous season.
This kid is tough, man. He comes out of Oklahoma, played at Virginia Tech, but I mean, he is a baller. Padula can really play. You'll see him play at both ends of the floor. Tough as nails.
Could be the most productive newcomer in the SEC. More on that as the show plays out here. Collins underneath, draws the foul. And so LSU trying to hammer that offensive glass today against a ranked Rebel team. All right, so it is time for our Regions in the Huddle. Your keys to victory for both teams, what do you got?
Well, Carter and Sears are the head of the snake for LSU. You got to cut out the head of the snake to have any success against him. If those two guys get going, it can really, really cause problems for Ole Miss. Offensive rebounding tonight. The points off turnovers are going to be huge, as LSU has really struggled with that throughout the season. It's a point of emphasis. But as you just saw, an offensive rebound, it's something that Ole Miss is very susceptible to, is that they're not a great rebounding team, and if LSU can kind of offset the turnovers with some good putback baskets, second chance opportunities, it'll give them a chance to hang around and maybe get one.
And those numbers that you just saw a moment ago, they are very glaring. LSU has struggled taking care of the basketball, generally speaking, this season. And so today they face a team that has one of the highest turnover rates in the nation. They do a brilliant job at pressuring, turning over their opponent. So something is going to give today. This is Padula. Playing off at 2 feet, finds Davis to Jamin Brakefield, and he gets that one to go.
They just share the ball. They average 15 assists a game. They share the ball. They're always looking to read, make one more pass, one more play. Hard to guard.
24 assists in the statement win on Tuesday at home against Kentucky. Sears lost his footing, and the jump ball takes us to a timeout. Unprecedented success this season for Ole Miss in a lot of ways. Their start to the year has been historic, so more on that when we return.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain.
Sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Get the all-new Nissan Murano at 3.9% APR financing for 36 months.
This is one of the finer seasons for Ole Miss in quite some time. Their ranked wins in SEC play. We started a month ago when they took down Alabama on the road. It was their first win against a top 5 team on the road in about a decade and a half. Meanwhile, Tuesday, this week, just a few days ago, Ole Miss flew out to a 33-18 lead, ultimately had a 23-point lead at the half. They scored 98, make 13 threes in a dominant performance against Kentucky, which rarely happens, by the way. 126 meetings against one of the storied programs in college basketball. That's just the 15th ever win against the Wildcats. Most points they have scored against Kentucky in a game ever. And then look at the eye-popping number at the bottom there. So we mentioned the 24 assists. They had one turnover. That's it. Highest assist-to-turnover rate in a game in Division I in 6 years.
Kevin, I thought it was a graphic error.
It was an error.
Last week. I still think it's a graphic error. I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, that is unheard of.
Well, Chris Beard said only one other game in his coaching career did they get close. He still never coached in a game where the team he coached had 0 turnovers. I mean, have you ever one turnover? That is extremely rare.
I mean, again, I had to hit the DVR on that one. Make sure that, one of you guys.
Make sure you saw that one correctly.
You play-by-play guys can tell us things.
It's all on us. I get it. This is we have to be the fall guy every time. After the miss, by the way, on that other end, it's a foul here. So Ole Miss will take it out. First on Victorious Miller, the freshman, getting some early run here. He did not play in LSU's loss to Georgia on Wednesday. But that performance by Ole Miss, going back to that game on Tuesday, very much a microcosm of how this team is trying to play all year. Chris Beard talked about it at length, as did Jalen Murray, Matt Morrell. They played unselfish ball. They tried to play making the right play, and it led them to quite a bit of success. Barnes wants 3, can't hit it.
Yeah, but again, they do a great job of sharing the ball. They're really, really noted for their defense, how they can grind you and fight you. As Miller makes a nice move, the young fella gets to the hole. But when they can share the ball and make threes, this is a dangerous team for anyone in the country.
They are averaging close to 80 points per game. There has not been a big drop-off at all in terms of production and efficiency from non-conference to SEC play. And you can see Ole Miss 6-4 start in SEC play. Boy, Brakefield to Murray. Wow. Count the basket.
Nice.
Talk about unselfish right here.
This is what I like about their big guys. Both he and Dia up there at the top of the key. They're guys that can put it on the deck. They can shoot it there. And they can make plays from there. Nice find by Brakefield.
Very well balanced, unselfish team. And so you see Brakefield hitting the cutter, and the savvy ball handler from the Bronx is going to the line. So Murray has the chance for another Ole Miss 3-point play. That foul is on Curtis Givens. Yeah, offensively, very fluid, very rhythmic. Ball movement is critical to their success.
It doesn't stick. And I think that's the thing that all us old timers like. You like to see the ball moving and popping. Even if you're dribbling, be going somewhere.
Out. There's Curtis Givens on the attack, lays it up and in.
Last 2 possessions, LSU, the 2 young guys getting all the way to the rim. That's a good sign.
The 2 rookies, previously Miller, this time Givens. So it may take perhaps a double-figure performance from one of those 2 today. There's Murray for 3. Jalen Murray, 15 and 10, the double-double on Tuesday. Carter, ball fake, has to give it up. Givens, a deep one, straight on 3 is long. And now Matt Morrell is on the move. Morrell gathers, foul, and so he heads to the line.
Again, you like the vision by Padula. Now trying to go under the screen. You want to go over on a shooter, but again, deep 3 with rhythm, nothing but net. Again, when this team shares the ball, they always share the ball, but when they can make shots, they become an elite team. They're a very good team as it is, but when they start scoring 75, 80, 85 points, they go into a whole different stratosphere.
Well, they've made 4 shots. They've assisted on 3 of those makes, so they're picking up right where they left off a couple of days ago. And it was nice to see Matt Morrell go off, hit 6 threes in that victory against Kentucky. His first 20-point game of the season. It has been an embattled year. He's dealing with lower body leg injuries really for the last month and a half, if not more. And so had a fine performance. He's got a few here early on.
Tough kid, never complains, brings it every night.
The all-conference veteran, also a fine on-ball defender here. That time did some nice work on Carter. Collins now, defender gamble. Collins goes up with the left, scores it.
Yeah, ill-advised gamble by Dia, and then Collins doing a nice job of being very poised and taking it in there with a nice spin move.
Malik Dia, he can stretch it for 3. Rebound down to Miller. LSU perhaps trying to play quick, get out into transition if it can today. It's a nice defense there for Morrell, forces the contested triple. Not that time for Miller.
Again, you like this right here, and again, he sizes it up, doesn't try to do too much, and gets his feet under him, reads it, 2 feet together, little guy on him. Nice, again, poised, understanding the situation, play to your strength. Go to the rim.
He has been an X factor inside for LSU. You can trace it all the way back to December. Remember, that is when they lost Jalen Reed, their inside force for the season. After just 8 games, it was an ACL injury. And then Collins into the starting lineup. And he has had to pick up more of a scoring load, averaging about 8 a game. So it's Ole Miss by 3. Second meeting between these two teams. Ole Miss won the first a month ago. Davis offline of a 3. Brakefield goes up, got it.
Again, the veteran player getting in there, getting his body, getting positioning, reading it, and snatching it with 2 hands, going up strong with a good finish.
Well, he has been really productive of late, coming off the bench this season for Ole Miss. This is Collins starting to go to work, puts it up with the right. Chest taps it back in. First basket of the night for Corey Chest. Oh, Brakefield wide open. Left wing 3. Not that time. Murray went after it. And Mike Williams starts to push for the Tigers. Collins has it. Collins has it knocked out. They start to smother him. Back out to Bailey for 3. There's a foul on the floor. It'll be on Ole Miss, and so LSU inbounds it when we return. Ole Miss sharing the ball. They got the 3-point lead.
Yeah, they share it, and they can spread. Good, strong offensive rebound for Ole Miss early in the game.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee,
Sometimes the greatest rush
la-di-da-di-da.
is not rushing at all.
Goes on. It goes on.
Get the all-new Nissan Murano at 3.9% APR financing for 36 months.
Saturday storylines around the SEC. We start in Columbia, Missouri. Pretty fierce top 15 battle. The veteran, Wade Taylor IV. It's what proves to be the go-ahead and game-winning 3-pointer with just 2 seconds left to down the Tigers. 2 tough losses for Missouri this week. Meanwhile, 6th-ranked Florida, now 20-3 on the season. They KO Auburn, hand the Tigers just their 2nd loss of the season. And so Florida, 6th team ever with wins versus different number 1 teams in a season. Remember, they beat Tennessee when it was ranked number 1 earlier this season. SEC, the gauntlet, this cauldron of competitiveness, whatever you want to call it. Joe Lunardi right now projects 13 teams out of the league to make the tournament if that tournament started today. 8 of those would be top 25 teams. A lot of talent, a lot of great battles in the league this year.
Playing in this league is like when I played in the NBA. I was telling you earlier. You're playing in New York and you have a good game against the Knicks and Patrick Ewing, and you're like feeling good about yourself. You're like, I've arrived, man. I'm gonna get it done, and you realize that you're getting on the plane and you're going down to Houston to play against the Longeron and the Rockets, and you kind of got to let it go. That's the way this thing is. I mean, it's like you can enjoy it, but somebody's coming.
And then 24 hours later, you take, I wouldn't say the bad boy Pistons.
Yes.
You got to turn the page quickly, though, is the point that you're trying to make there, right?
And I think the maturity thing that we talked about as the bank is open here for Mike Williams. He comes out of the ATM line right into the bank and banks it in.
That's the line that time. Brakefield puts the ball on the deck. Back out to Morrell. And so LSU now is trying to turn some of those offensive makes and catalyze the defense on this end of the floor. That ball ricochets to Davis. He spins. Davis around the rim. That's a nifty finish.
Like that guy. He's long. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He can give you a little bit of everything on the defensive end. He's good with his length and the switches. And on our offensive end, he's a good driver, good ball handler, sneaky good three-point shooter.
Yeah, averaging about 10 a game. 16 up, approaching the halfway mark of this first half.
And as you can see, you come in and, hey, why wait to touch the ball 2 or 3 times? Take a 3 off of one leg, a little kick in the back there for style points. I like the little kick in the back there, a little spread eagle. They're all good if they go in, baby.
It's been the return of Mike Williams, by the way.
And I like this. I like him in the game because as we've talked, I think with the attention that Sears and Carter get, he's a guy, he can knock down shots. You can throw it to him out of a double team. He can penetrate. He can make shots. He can be a facilitator. And I like seeing him on the floor.
Well, LSU has gotten production from just about everybody early on. The rare air ball at the line there by Corey Chest, who, by the way, the redshirt freshman from New Orleans, has had a very productive season. Ole Miss 6 out of 12 from the field on this end of the floor. Bounce pass, Davis from 8, yes.
Again, when the ball goes into Brakefield, they do a nice job of cutting guys and flashing guys, and he finds them. You turn and ball watch, they're going to expose him.
Davis hounding Corey Chest. Dre Davis is whistled for his first. That is the 14th foul on the Rebels. You know, Davis, 17, remember, in that win against Texas a couple of weeks ago. They just have so many different veterans, seniors, graduate seniors that really are just about all capable of going off and leading this team and scoring on any given night. A lot of teams think they have that. I think LSU, or rather Ole Miss, really does have that in its formula. Nice bounce pass to Collins. Collins puts it in. And so you see just the athleticism around the rim to finish in traffic.
Well, that's 2 really, really nice plays by Collins. Very good. As we talked about, he's a guy that can read it and make a play. Good start for him.
That's 7 points for Damian Collins. So it's someone who averages about 8 a game, off to a good start. Bailey comes down with the miss. Jai Bailey with his eyes up. LSU trying to run the floor. Mike Williams. Guarded by Padula. So they feed it to Chest. Jordan Sears picks up his dribble. Williams fires. Well, he banked in the first. Not sure the intent was to bank in another, but it nearly worked a second time.
That one goes in. I hope he's playing the lottery. Yeah. That's all.
Play the numbers. Davis, not that time. And so another rebound down to Corey Chess, who's top 10 in the league in rebounding. See if Damian Collins can stretch it, and he's never been a reliable three-point shooter. Chess draws the foul and is going to the line.
Again, you really like this little slip action. Gets the guy up in the air, nice little pocket pass there. Good catch, way to gather and finish. But again, just a really nice play against the switching, aggressive Ole Miss defense. The really good slip by Collins and the great find by Mike Williams.
Well, you have bemoaned just at the importance here of LSU taking care of the basketball today.
I mean, it's been a bugaboo. I mean, that when you every time we've met with Coach McMahon this year, I mean, he sits down and you kind of like it's the elephant in the room, and you got to go, "How's it going, Coach?" Turnovers. I mean, every time it's like you're just sitting there waiting for it.
Yep.
And tonight, Mississippi has no points off of turnovers so far in the first 11 and a half minutes of the game, and that is absolutely huge if you're an LSU fan, because that has been the Achilles heel all through the season, especially in conference play.
Well, you don't want those turnovers mean you don't get a shot, you don't even get a look, like one here from Robert Miller. They are also having some early success on the offensive glass. And so after Corey Chess misses 2 at the line, the freshman will head back there to try to clean things up.
We're talking about the points off turnovers. You saw what we see at this end. What's the Achilles heel of Ole Miss? Rebounding, offensive rebounding. You want to see a coach lose his mind? Let this happen right here. A missed free throw, and a guy just whips you when you have the inside position and takes the ball from you and gets another opportunity. That and baseline out of bounds dunks or layups drive coaches nuts.
Now the problem for LSU is they just missed the last 3 at the line. So Miller, freshman from Houston, who is improving really with every game in conference play. That is an 0 for 4 trip down the line. And you see LSU 2 of 8 at the free throw line. All right, so Ole Miss, by the way, with 3 turnovers in the first 12 minutes. So they've tripled their turnover total. Triple the amount of turnovers. Although when you're tripling 1, I suppose it's not that bad. Sears, a deep one, can't connect. And now numbers here perhaps for Juju Murray and the Rebels. LSU gets back. This is Dia on the pull-up, bounces out.
LSU doing a nice job creating a wall and not giving Ole Miss clean, easy looks in transition. Ole Miss is settling and taking a lot of long, tough shots.
Yeah, both teams are trying to settle into a rhythm offensively, you could say. That's going to be a clear offensive foul. Robert Miller right into the sternum there of Sean Padula. That'll take us to a timeout. LSU does have the 1-point lead at home.
Yeah, you got the big fella in the post, but the little man sticks the chest in there, takes one for the team. Way to go, little guy.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. And the beat goes on.
Sometimes the greatest rush
The beat goes on.
is not rushing at all in the all-new Nissan Murano.
is a significant final for a number of reasons. More on that in just a moment. You see LSU has a 1-point lead here, 7:52 to go in the first. We talked about the offensive glass. LSU has had a little early success there against the Rebels.
Yeah, they've got 5 offensive rebounds. They've got 7 second chance points to 2 to Ole Miss. I think the big key, though, for them is Ole Miss has no points off turnovers, which, again, is something in the first game. They ended up having 23 and a plus 14 advantage.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is struggling against a kind of pesky, tough LSU defense early on. Very impressed with the effort of LSU.
Yeah, especially on this end of the floor, to your point. So they have held Ole Miss to 1 of 5 shooting from distance. Transition 3 for Carter.
There's some tough shot taker and the tough shot maker. Man, that was tough. That guy was all over him. Just arched it right over the top.
It's their first 3 of the evening after starting. They get their second after starting 1 of 9. Padula answers for 3.
I think when LSU can get a little bit of stuff in transition, it frees up Carter's ability to play a little more one-on-one. And again, you don't want to play against a set 5 with Ole Miss.
LSU back-to-back from distance. Jai Bailey with the latest to get on the board.
They're coming off a game where they made 12. To see if it can continue.
Yeah, that was the bright spot in that loss to Georgia on Wednesday, and they hit a lot of threes early. Now they do have a 4-point advantage. That's the good news. Miller turns that Dia shot away. LSU on the move. And so can they turn, to your point, the stops on that end, or maybe turnovers, into points on this end? Miller was calling for it.
Just when you can do that, Kevin, it just takes so much pressure off of you offensively.
Robert Miller with another. So 8 different Tigers have scored of the 9 that have played. So just about everybody has been able to get in on the action. There's a foul there.
You can see, I mean, that was a contested high arcing 3, but Padula comes right back and answers him. Then again, a good find off the rebound. Bailey, good spot shooter, has lots of time, lots of rhythm. Nice ball movement. I mean, I think LSU is playing really inspired, playing with energy, playing with togetherness, sharing the ball. Great start for the Tigers.
It was a spirited, engaged shoot-around earlier today. This is Barnes for 3. Rebound down to Trades Green, the freshman.
He has not, Coach McMahon has not lost his team.
No.
His team was engaged. They were enthusiastic. That's hard to do when you're struggling like they have been.
Green attacks and scores. So the tight end on the gridiron for the football squad this season, playing in his 5th game now with the basketball team. And so he's getting some early impactful run here in the first. It's an 8-point advantage for LSU. 5:25 to go in the first. This is Barnes underneath. Barnes with his first bucket. David Barnes, one of the several seniors that come off the bench. He's been a very dependable role player this season. Green, very aggressive, blocked. And he gets fouled by Davis. So Trades Green, no hesitation at the rim, he attacks.
Yeah, and you like, I mean, again, you got to take away the baseline, or you got to get over there farther to get him stopped, because when he gets that deep with that athleticism and that strength, nothing good's going to happen for you defensively.
All right, so late December for Trades Green. He's playing Baylor in the Texas Bowl. 6 catches, 2 touchdowns. The following week, shows up for basketball practice. And he's played it now 5 straight games. And, you know, that was part of the plan. And Matt McMahon, a couple of weeks ago, last month, I mean, he knew that they needed just some more presence inside as they continue to play without their big man Jalen Reed, lost for the season in December. Here's Davis, the spin boy, that is in his bag, and he's got another.
Just crafty. Just a veteran, crafty move, under control.
Cam Carter, other end. This is Collins. Collins, the throwdown. And LSU is feasting inside and on the glass early on.
Those big athletes and those long arms of Collins and the athleticism of Green, they are getting after it.
Bailey nearly took it away from Padula. He did. Ole Miss, though, benefits from the wild pass that's out of bounds.
Again, this is just great feel by Gray Davis coming down the floor. And then this is just, I'm going to go get it. Green keeps it alive. Collins finishes it. They are coming at you on the missed shots.
So offensive rebound-wise, that's 7 for LSU. They are +6 in that category, so getting extra shots. And you're right, they're taking in defensively here in the half court.
Their ball pressure is very
Padula
good.
swishes that one.
That was like on line with Carter's shot. That guy was right up on him. Had a high arcing three. Very difficult. Little zone here, little matchup by Ole Miss.
We expected a little bit of that, yes, today?
Yeah, they like to do this, try to get you out of rhythm, try to get you thinking and not playing with flow, make you eat up some clock, which they're doing.
Yep, 5 seconds to shoot. Carter behind the back. Carter! Oh, he couldn't do it. That time he had Padula on the ground on his backside there. They're going to whistle Jai Bailey for his first foul. It's 4-point lead, Joe, for LSU at home.
Yeah, there've been a lot of tough shots tonight. None tougher than that over a long arm of the law, Green, but Padula knocking it down for the Rebels.
Dominating the glass, all right. They got the 7 offensive board. Damian Collins has a handful of them. 9 points apiece for Collins and Sean Padula. So LSU, remember, Joe, they had some significant and impressive wins out of conference. They beat Kansas State, Florida State, Central Florida. They got off to that really fine start, 11-2. In non-conference play, but it has been arduous, the journey, once SEC play has arrived. Several close losses early on. They lost their first 4. Their lone win against Arkansas, a game in which a guy like Corey Chess, Damian Collins, the 2 bigs that have had success early on, they were effective in that game. And so they are trying to flip their fortune here after 5 consecutive losses. And in several of them, there were a lot of encouraging things. Today, they've got the 4-point edge. What has stood out so far?
Well, I think it's their defensive effort, but number one, they're not turning the ball over. They got 2 turnovers. I don't think Ole Miss has any points off turnovers. And they're, as they said in the studio, they are eating on the offensive glass.
Feasting. Carter closed out that time by Davis. Trades Green going to work, goes up, blocked by Brakefield. So will it fuel the break? LSU does get back. And Ole Miss can reset. 3 to play in the first half. Rebels have been down for much of this opening period. Find Cam Carter. Get that out of here. Morrell could not find any space. Carter, he is a blur into the paint. Chucks it over to Green. So Cam Carter today, he's taken 5 shots. He's 2 out of 5 from the floor. LSU's got contributions from a number of sources. Green wants 3 this time. Won't get it to go. There's a foul on Brakefield. And that's the 2nd foul on Jamin Brakefield.
That would have gone in. The students and everybody, with Green knocking down the 3, the football player, that would have really got this place going. But again, yeah, you're having to foul, you're having to grab, you're having to push. on the offensive to keep them from getting offensive rebounds because they're beating you to the spot. They're beating you, attacking the glass, attacking the ball. You're a little bit late. So what do you do when you're a little bit late? You grab, you push, you hold. Breakfield gets caught.
And so Damian Collins, who is having his most productive season, it's been a career year in a lot of ways, is the first player into double figures. So he has 10, already well past his season average. You know, Ole Miss does so many things right. Very efficient on the offensive end. They take care of the ball, the assists, the steals. Their one weakness, they are dead last in the league in rebound margin, meaning just securing the defensive rebound. That is a struggle for this team. LSU by 5 now. Make it 6.
And when you're getting turnovers and you're getting points off turnover, you can mask that. You can hide that. Rebounding doesn't become as critical a thing when you're creating turnovers and getting points off turnovers. When that disappears, and offensive rebound is coming, it becomes very prevalent.
Dia taking it in strong, couldn't finish. Corey Chest with another rebound. That's his 5th. Sears back onto the floor. Inside to Collins. Throwdown. Damian Collins will not be denied in this first half.
Great read by Sears. He saw the mismatch and he just threw it up there. Collins went and fetched it and threw it down.
LSU, largest lead of the evening. This one stays here with 15 on the timer.
You can just see they're coming down, and he sees he's got a mouse in the house, and he just throws it up there and rocks it, man. I like it when he dunks because when he dunks it, you can hear it.
You can feel it, too.
But you could always tell when a guy was making a dunk, if you could hear the ball hitting the rim or the ball hitting the floor hard, when you can hear a dunk, that's when you go. That's kind of when you get the ooh.
All right, shall we take a listen, by the way? There's Collins. He is so quick. He's very extremely athletic. So, boy, he can, by the time that just the time between catch, gather, and throw down, I mean, it is so quick. That's how athletic he is around the rim.
It's like a pogo stick. He can challenge a shot and hit the ground and then go grab the rebound if it's missed, or go grab and challenge the other shot. It's just very long, very active.
13 first half points for Damian Collins, who's averaging 8 on the season. So he is well past his season average. You know, to your point, a throwdown like that, it's worth 2 points, almost worth a little more in terms of the psychological advantage, perhaps. Eduardo Klafke, this is the freshman from Brazil. Kickball. So shot clock resets to 20. Ole Miss searching a little bit on this end of the floor.
The energy of old LSU is great. The deflections, the hands, the active hands. I mean, it's just been really harassing and bothering Ole Miss and not letting them get any kind of rhythm offensively.
Padula steps back for 3. Sean Padula is 3 for 3 from distance. He's got 12.
He's tough. You know, I said it earlier. That's another tough shot and a shot that they needed desperately.
The senior from Edmond, Oklahoma, spent his first 3 seasons at Virginia Tech. Very productive there. And he has been the engine, the playmaker for Ole Miss this season. They've got it now in the front court, down 5 after the miss with 1 minute to go in the first. Murray, little hesitation, had to pick up the dribble. Davis is open. That's a long 2, but connects.
I love it when guards go in there and they get funneled into a crowd and they stop and they have the poise to pivot and become a post player and find guys on the perimeter.
It's the value of getting it to that logo. And so it leads to the basket. Ole Miss was down by 8 a few moments ago, but then they hit back-to-back. Carter for 3. Oh, it's an off-balance triple, and he nails it.
And again, you got to look out, man, because this guy can get going. Again, that was not a poorly contested shot, but he can make those.
Carter with 8. That's his second triple.
A little zone by LSU to confuse Ole Miss right before the half.
Some good shot making here. A flurry of makes before the break. Murray to Klafke. It was a good cut. Back out. Half a second. Blocked by Sears. A fine first half for LSU.
Oh, I'll get you some of that. Boom. Guy can explode. We'll see how it goes in the second half.
Remember, in their first meeting early January, LSU turned it over 17 times. Just 2 really did a fine job of taking care of the basketball in this first half. Matt Morrell, their all-conference veteran, number 11 in the red, he has been contained. The lone double-figure scorer for the Rebels, coming off of their big win against Kentucky Tuesday. Sean Padula had 12. 2 seconds to shoot. Murray's got to force it. It's either a shot clock violation or a Corey Chest rebound. He secures it before the timer goes off. So LSU picks up right where it left off at the end of the first half. That is back-to-back defensive stops. Remember the Sears block right as the timer expired. Sears for 3. Buries the step back. It's his first basket.
Might have got away with a little push-off there, but the officials in the SEC are going to let you play. Now, if he starts making them, look out.
And he needed it. You're right. His first basket. Took 2 shots in the first, missed them both. Matt Morrell heads to the free throw line. This has given LSU its largest lead. Yeah, maybe a miss.
It looks like when your little brother or little sister is bothering you.
Just give him a little shove.
Mom and your mom's standing right there watching it. She's like, nobody was hurt. I'm going to let that one go.
You could tell he might be saying the younger sibling that time, hey, yeah. You learn, you listen. Yeah. Don't mess with big bro. That's the sort of shove you're going for the last helping of dinner or something like that. Morrell, the 5th-year senior from Memphis. He has worn that Ole Miss jersey with a lot of pride, hasn't he? Hasn't hit a field goal today, but he's got the 4 points at the line.
Yeah, hadn't attempted a field goal,
yeah.
Which is unheard of. He's been around Ole Miss so long, I played against him.
Sears is starting to heat up.
Well, again, Ole Miss really likes to load to that ball. And they really, when you start driving it, they're going to bring help. If you can find that skip pass, you're going to get those shots.
Morrell didn't have enough airspace that time. That's a foul on Collins, his first.
Again, you'll see just this little drive. Look at the bodies. They've all turned. Doesn't look like much, but it gets their attention. And then the spot-on bullet pass, it's right on the money, makes it hard to recover.
Now, he has been the dependable veteran. Matt McMahon and the staff, they had to go out and get some veterans in the portal. There is Matt Morrell's first field goal, has it back to single digits. And they went after Sears. Consistency-wise, been a little up and down in terms of the points per game of the production, but the effort, the attitude, the mentality, he has brought it every day. And he has just buried a couple of triples here, his first 2 of the game.
They're engaged with their coach, he and Carter. They're, like we said, the head of the snake. They're the leaders. Their energy, especially defensively, has been contagious in this game.
Murray has had a hard time on this end of the floor. This is Davis underneath, very nimble around the rim. So back-to-back for Ole Miss, erases the double-digit deficit. Carter, swarm, chest, cleared for takeoff. Great vision.
Yeah, they double-team the ball, and everybody's turning and watching. You got to sink to the ball and find the cutters. Slam dunk if you don't.
LSU is led for the majority of this one. A few moments ago, led by double digits. They're trying to push that advantage back to 10+. This trip down the floor. Collins fouled, so he'll be back at the line.
Again, you see the double team coming right there with Drake. And again, the guys on the weak side are ball watching. They're not getting towards the ball. They're not loading towards the ball. Chest comes right down the middle. He puts his chest on the rim.
That was a loud one, too.
Yeah.
A lot of volume. The volume was high on that dunk. Corey Chest, he's got the 7 rebounds now. He is their most effective rebounder. Damian Collins, on the other hand, with 14. And remember, he was a factor the last time these two played. One of his better games was a few weeks ago against Arkansas, LSU's lone win. Another game where they had success in the paint, in and around the rim. And so Collins, effective once more today.
He's a rim roller. He's got length. He's got bounce. That ball's, you can get him around the rim. And the ball's around the rim. It's a good chance he's going to get it.
Well, a couple of ranked SEC teams have got today, but they have fallen to other ranked SEC teams. You've got the 25th ranked Rebels down 10 in Baton Rouge, early second half. Brakefield rolls. Brakefield couldn't get free, out to Davis. Brakefield shovels, poor pass. LSU with another steal.
Great help defense by the Tigers. Thought they had a couple baskets there. Tigers took it away.
Sears to Carter. Back out to Sears. Sets the feet. Puts it up. Rebound down to Brakefield. He hit one a few moments ago from that spot. A deep wing triple. David Barnes trying to spin. Barnes backing his way down. Way off that time on the fall away. And LSU trying to extend the double-digit lead. That stays here. Largest lead of the evening for the Tigers right now.
They've come out, and again, you're ball watching. LSU's cutting and moving tonight, and they're feasting at the rim.
LSU led by 6 at the break. It has extended that lead against the 25th ranked team in the nation. Joe, I want to underscore a word you just used in the break a moment ago. Effort on the LSU side. On both ends of the floor, particularly the defensive side.
They're engaged tonight, and they're on the same page, and they're getting out in the passing lanes. They're active. Again, this is the dunk, but energy's there, and then now you got to drive. Okay, you keep your feet, you stay in front of him. Brakefield looks like he's got to drive. They cut him off. He tries to make a lazy shuffle pass. They get the steal. The energy, the active hands, the bodies are moving in the right place defensively. Everywhere else Ole Miss goes, there's a hand or a body. Very impressive so far by the LSU defensively.
There have been some rocky halves of basketball of late for LSU. They were right there in the fight, start of the second half on Wednesday against Georgia. And only to see the Bulldogs go on a big run early in the second half. They were out of it the rest of the way. Texas game last week, that was a clunker. You know, there have been some encouraging halves, though, for LSU in these losses. Earlier today was one of them. Davis right to the rim. And so the activity, the energy level, it has been high today. LSU has led for the majority of this game.
Can LSU stay away from those lulls, those 5-possession lulls where they don't get anything or they break down defensively, as you alluded to? That's what's really hurt them so far in the SEC season.
Well, they're going to keep it on this side of the floor because that's a foul on Ole Miss.
Again, that's just bodies flying around, getting in there. You start putting your body on a guy over and over again every time the shot goes up, and sooner or later you're going to get a little PO'd, you know, and you're going to extend an arm or you're going to push him because, you know, you're aggravating the guy. And if I always said, if the guy at your guard isn't aggravated or gets upset with you, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah, can you make them lose their composure? So that's the third foul on one of the veterans, and the reliable ones at that, Jamin Brakefield. So something to keep an eye out on. Carter spins, left that turnaround way short. That's a shot clock violation. So that time, good Ole Miss defensive sequence.
Did a nice job of staying in front, not gambling, not getting out of position, sliding your feet, extending, making him shoot over a arm.
The Rebels have thrived this season. At 17-6, they've been ranked for all but 1 week. Got off to that 15-2 start, picked up their second ranked win of the season Tuesday. Yet they have been behind for much of today. Padula got Green of the air. Padula, wild layup. Now they missed something earlier that possession, perhaps.
Breakfield's got to shoot that. 15-foot wide open shot. Guy's got his hands down. Shoot the ball.
Oh, Carter, the step back, could not get it to go. Was a bit strong. Here's a transition triple for Morrell. No. So Matt Morrell has only taken a handful of shots today. He's 1 of 3 from the field. That's it.
Well, we talked about the point of emphasis on Carter. You can tell there's a point of emphasis on Morrell, too. And they've done a very good job of corralling him and having a hand on him and being a pest to him to the point where he did not get a field goal attempt in 14.5 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
That cannot happen if Ole Miss wants to have a chance here in the second half.
Yeah, that is very surprising. It has been Dre Davis and Sean Padula. They have taken the lion's share of the shots, and both in double figures. Carter turned in the corner, just a little out of control that time. Didn't have many options. Dia trying to get position underneath. Davis from 15, that's pure.
Veteran. Juju comes down, doesn't have anything. Dre Davis isn't standing over there watching, flashes to the free throw line, nice little jumper.
Yeah, this has been one of Dre Davis's more productive days. He averages 10 a night, 14 today. Leading the way for Ole Miss, that is now back within 6. Timeout LSU.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. And the beat goes on.
Sometimes the greatest rush
Beat goes on.
is not rushing at all in the all-new Nissan Murano.
Ole Miss today, it has been down for much of the evening against LSU. This Rebels team that has flourished this season. Joe, they got off to the 15-2 start for a second straight season, won their first 4 SEC games, doing a lot of things in Oxford that haven't been done in 10, 15 years or so. So, great strength of schedule. They've got 6 of those wins against what we call quad 1 teams. What are they? That's projected NCAA tournament teams, bona fide NCAA tournament teams. Lunardi's got them as a 6 seed right now. So this strong year, it has continued. They are 17-6 overall.
Yeah, you've had a strong year and everything's going great. And you know what? Nobody cares here at LSU. They come.
Yeah.
They're looking at you and they're licking their chops, and that's the SEC this season. They're right there with their effort tonight and their ball movement tonight have really stepped up and really shown, you know, you got to give you credit to Coach Mack over there. I mean, these guys are balling, man. I mean, they are playing hard. They're playing together. They haven't splintered. And I mean, they're giving Ole Miss all they want and then some.
You know, how difficult is that? So LSU has lost 5 in a row. They're 1-8 in league play. They have been in the fight in many of those games. There's a foul there on the drive in. It's difficult. Is it kind of a day-to-day, game-to-game thing, just trying to put the right foot forward?
When your season's going great,
yeah,
it's macro. You're looking at it, you know, I'm going to give you an econ lesson here that I learned in 1985.
101?
Yeah. It's a macro. That means you're looking at the big picture. When you lost 5 in a row and you're 1-9, it's micro. You're trying to have a good first 5 minutes that turns into 10 minutes. It turns into a good first half that you try to take into the second half. And that's what LSU has done. And Coach Mack has done a great job.
Is this the abridged, like, masterclass version, by the way? I feel enlightened. Sears on the pull-up, couldn't get it to go. Do I get my certificate now on fine? I knew I should have done the degree. This is Barnes on the way in. Was able to keep the pivot foot. Let's see if Sears can turn it into 2 at the rim. The senior from Daytona Beach, his final year of college hoops, his 1 season here in Baton Rouge. He's nearing 2,000 points, and he's got 8, Joe, in the second half after a scoreless first. Morrell spots up from distance, and that is a foul here. Sears and Dia, boy, they are jawing right now. And it was Jason Baker who got between them very quickly. Joe, right at the start of that sequence, it appeared Jordan Sears went tumbling, and he thought that maybe Dia gave him a little shove. So that is a carryover from maybe the first few moments of that offensive possession.
And what did I tell you when Padula took the charge down here? Big guys hate this right here. They hate little guys. You've been wrestling a bear all day. You've been wrestling a bear all day. Now
we have
Sears
a common foul
gets switched off on you.
The activity following that is what's under review.
So KB Burdett put it very nice and plainly there. They're going to review everything that happened afterward.
But again, you know, you get frustrated because you can't. You're used to wrestling a bear, and now it's a rabbit. You're trying to grab him and get your hands on him, and he's over here and over here. And
that's the start of the sequence there. Sears took exception to that. Right. Little forearm shiver. You know, Sears, he wasn't backing down, by the way. Right after this, he gave up the forearm there, and Sears was the one walking towards Dia that time.
When I first saw that, I saw Sears go down. I thought that Dia had maybe slung him or threw him down. It looked like he just fell down. I think Dia did a good job with his body spreading out. I don't think there was anything malicious there, and he got Sears with a hip or something to put him down. Sears took exception to that. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see. I think that might end up being a flagrant 1.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing there, and he took a shot.
Yeah, I would agree. It would not be surprising if that does happen again. Our officials are over there reviewing the whole play to see if they are going to upgrade anything there to a flagrant 1. And now I think Jordan Sears is, he's a little upset. So I would assume KB Burdett has perhaps delivered him some, in his mind, bad news. There was a little reaction there from Sears.
I think it's a good call. I don't think, again, when I first watched it, I thought there was some frustration.
The common foul called on 1 white has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. 0 red will shoot 2 shots and then get the ball on the baseline with 20 on the shot clock. The activity following that is left like it is called on the floor. Nothing.
Yeah, so a great explanation that time. Administered nicely, by the way, by our crew. That was KB Burdett. Jason Baker was the one who got right in between both Dia and Sears. And Garrick Shannon as well, the 3rd man of the crew. Dia remains scoreless. So there's the second free throw. Makes 1. Ole Miss will keep possession. So again, this is what,
that's excessive.
So Dia immediately points at Sears, who was not backing down, going face to face that time with the big man. Now again, Sears took exception with what he thought was a shove previously on that sequence. To your point, it did not look like there was anything intentional from Dia. Obviously, the officials agreed, and so that is why they only assessed the 1 F1, the flagrant 1, to Sears, not Dia.
But you know what I like? I like the saltiness of LSU today.
Yeah. Sean Padula, by the way, from beyond the arc. I think Chris Beard and staff is like that.
Speaking of salty.
Yeah. 4 of 4 from distance. Well, they have had that edge. You're right.
Yeah.
LSU has played with an edge, chip on the shoulder today. It still maintains the lead, although it has shrunk a bit in the last few moments. Miller couldn't hit the step back. Watched it go down and out. Padula has his eyes up. There's Padula. Morrell trying to find separation. This is Matt Morrell. Tiptoes on the baseline. Got the bigger Miller on him. Brakefield with position for a moment. This is Davis going back to work. Davis fouled by Green. So he's at the line when we return. Ole Miss has it back to a 4-point game.
Talking about toughness of LSU. You want to answer? We got a little toughness from you coming from the Rebs and Padula. Got a good one.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee,
Sometimes the greatest rush
la-di-da-di-da.
is not rushing at all.
Goes on. It goes on.
Get the all-new Nissan Murano at 3.9% APR financing for 36 months.
Anymore. Sean Padula, the senior from Oklahoma, with 15 today, right at his season average.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy we've been talking about, salty, gritty, toughness, whatever. I mean, he kind of gives you what you need when you need it. Tonight they needed him to knock down some shots against this pesky, tough, salty, and really engaged LSU defense. Single-handedly, right now, he has been the spark that has kept Ole Miss hanging around. We'll see if he can keep it going for the next 12.
You know, the biggest difference in his game from a season ago to this year, he was Virginia Tech's leading scorer. That was a solid Virginia Tech team a season ago. It has been his three-point shooting prowess. He's had a breakout season from beyond the arc. Career high 40%, excuse me, from distance this year.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, the shots he takes, you know, you sit there and you think, you know, he's just out here jacking up shots and trying to get points and stuff. I mean, he takes good shots. All his shots are good. They're under control. He reads the floor well. He gets up the ball. I mean, he's a very good shooter, very good scorer, but he does exactly what Chris Beard loves to do. He takes what they give him. He plays within the system. He doesn't force anything, and it's just, you know, it just, you know, lets everybody else kind of play, and it feeds everybody and builds everybody up.
He is top 10 of the league in basically everything. Leads Ole Miss in just about every important statistical category. So you start crunching all those numbers. Going back to your math, I'm going to give a mathematics lesson myself. I mean, he's first-year transfers. Is he the newcomer of the year in the SEC, if you want to call it that? Oh, late shot clock offense here. Wow, that is Curtis Gibbons. A little sigh of relief afterward. That's a big three, making a long two for LSU.
Wow, good defensive effort by Ole Miss, and just outdone by a better shot at the end.
Davis blocked. Foul, though. There was a lot of body contact, so the second on Collins.
Again, this is as good as you can play it. I mean, they switch it. You got a 6'5" long guy right there, just a little late. Step back, fall away three. Tip your hat to him.
Don't have to make all of them. You just gotta can't miss all of them.
Yeah.
So someone likes to use that one. So Davis been very productive as well. He actually leads Ole Miss in scoring. He's got 16 now. So Davis approaching a season high. He scored 20 earlier this year against Louisville, so he stuck it to his former club. That's where he started his career. One of the many, they've got 10, Joe, seniors or graduate seniors, 10 of them on the roster. Now here's some ball pressure from Ole Miss. This is what they do best. Murray to Padula, sets it feet, lines it up. Tapped back by Davis. This is Brakefield. Rather, Davis has it. He gets fouled. Davis pulls it down amidst the crowd.
Davis is balling now, let me tell you. I mean, he is getting after it. He is crashing those boards, and he's giving Ole Miss some second chances. He's giving Ole Miss some second life right now. Without his effort, without his tenacity, LSU would be cruising right now.
Yeah, this is an 11-4 run now for Ole Miss. They were down 10, and now they are back within 2. Trey Davis with 17. Make it 18, excuse me, on 7 of 12 shooting. So he has taken by far the most shots today for Ole Miss. Left the second short. 2-point lead for LSU. They're 2 for their last 10 on this end of the floor.
Will the Ole Miss defense that constantly in your face, bothering you, get Ole Miss to break?
Brakefield that
LSU
time.
to break.
Yep. No, Brakefield contested the Collins shot. Padula to the rim, drops it off. Davis missed it. New 20 now. Extra pass. This is Padula. Got bumped that time by Givens. And now they improvise. Brakefield, a couple of jab steps. Brakefield, that is Damian Collins' 4th foul. You know, the crowd doesn't like it, but again, there's a little body contact there.
He is so good at this. I mean, he is so crafty. He squares you up, freezes you, and then when he goes, I mean, that's a foul. You can't just slide and give him a forearm to the chest, but he is so crafty and good. I love that little inside pivot he does when he squares up, especially big guys, because he can shoot it. And the big guy knows he can shoot it. And when he looks at you, he freezes you, and then he's crafty enough he can go right, he can go left, and that's how he gets to the free throw line.
Yeah, all 4 of Damian Collins' fouls have been this half. Jamin Brakefield, he has been an ambassador for these Rebels for so many years. 4th year at the program. Started for 3 straight seasons. Coming off the bench this year, but he's playing starters minutes. Morrell takes it away. Matt Morrell, lob. Brakefield couldn't handle it. Just too far of the pass that time. Brakefield was caught underneath the rim. So LSU dodges a bullet. So the ship it's taken on water a little bit. They've got to plug up the holes. Still leading by 2.
Been really good with the turnovers here till about the last 4 minutes.
Only had 2 at the break. Gibbons to the corner. This is Carter. Puts it in. Big response for the Tigers.
Good one more by Gibbons. He has a good look, gives him one more for a better look.
Now Jalen Murray answers with the leaner.
It's heating up in here, Kevin. He's starting to go up and down and get after it.
Both teams making plays on either side. 9 to play in this one. Corey Chest leaves it for Miller on the other side. Chest throws it down. Oh, they're going to wave off the basket. Yep, and they say that is a cylinder play. So Corey Chest throws it down while the basketball was still above the cylinder.
I think they're going to play on and take a look at it when they can, but it looks like offensive goaltending to me. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be added cylinder.
Yeah, it cannot be hovering over the basket. Now, I've always contended, I hate that that's a penalty against the offensive team. They've got the ball, they've got possession, but that is the rule. Doesn't matter either end of the floor. If that is hovering over the rim, you cannot touch it, you can't affect the ball. So that's a clear-cut offensive basket interference there. Miller, great block on Padula.
Great job by the big fella, sliding his feet and staying with the little guard.
Sears hesitated. This is Sears. Goes straight into Davis and draws the foul.
I really like what Miller did defensively, and then I like what Davis did even more. Instead of taking the long contested 3 that's going to either be a home run or a strikeout, he gets a little ball fake, gets in there and gets to the free throw line. This can help settle LSU down, calm the nerves, maybe get him going a little bit.
Jordan Sears playing with an edge this half. All 9 of his points after halftime.
Again, what I'm so impressed with him and even Carter, you know, these guys have, we talked about the head of the snake, blah, blah, blah. And they've been a lot of times having to do everything. They've really deferred tonight. They've trusted their teammates, and their teammates have delivered.
Collins, the biggest example. He's got 15, approaching his career high. There's a foul inside. That was Dia, who's in the mix again that time. So that is another foul on Robert Miller.
Now, what the young fellas got to understand here, the post, Dia does a good job going in there and laying his body on it and posting hard. Instead of fighting with him, which is your instinct as a big guy, you got to start moving your feet, trying to get around him instead of pushing and hitting, because that's why he was called for the foul.
Yeah, rookie mistake, perhaps. Now, both teams have not been very efficient at the free throw line. Ole Miss has missed 7 now. Carter, is he going to get whistled for the foul? They're going to say that's on Murray. So that is a foul on Jalen Murray. That's the 5th team foul on the Rebels.
I don't know about this. Right there, this is what I saw right there. Okay. I mean, right here, you can't put 2 hands on it. This foul came first. Good call.
And a little embellishment, too.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd foul on Murray. That's Ole Miss's point guard, assist leader, distributor. Sears falls, somehow recovers, out to Bailey for 3. Couple of bodies. Now they're all going tumbling here. Miller's on the ground, Padula's on the ground. The foul takes us to a timeout. LSU still maintains its lead.
Ooh, number 7 Future Renew Day Cream. Reverses damage. What, like from sleeping in my makeup?
Reverse 5 visible signs of skin damage with number 7 Future Renew.
Flawless.
Don't regret, just reverse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee,
Sometimes the greatest rush
la-di-da-di-da.
is not rushing at all.
Goes on. It goes on.
Get the all-new Nissan Murano at 3.9% APR financing for 36 months.
9 SEC teams in the latest top 25. It's like a chill week, by the way, based on what we've seen previously. Number 1, Auburn, by the way, went down earlier today to Florida, who's now 20-3. And one of those 9 ranked squads, this Rebels team, that has been in the top 25 for almost every week of the season, all but one. There is Ole Miss 6-4, so they are in the top half of the SEC. Auburn takes its first conference loss of the season. Alabama, by the way, has a big lead over Arkansas right now in the second half of that game. So, as it appears, or as it looks right now, you might have Alabama tie Auburn at least, you know, with a 9-1 mark if they secure the win today. And remember, we have the very likely top 5 showdown between Auburn and Alabama coming up. I believe that's next Saturday,
previous 3
right?
plays in order. It was called a 2 on the floor. It is confirmed that it is a 2 at the around the 11:23 mark. Offensive basket interference has been confirmed as well. No basket. The previous play was called a common foul on the floor. That call was confirmed as well. Common foul. LSU ball on the baseline.
Boy, well done, KB Burdett. That was a busy
Where's the timeout? Pass the Tylenol, please.
It was a busy review, by the way, at the prior timeout. This game has been tighter of late. LSU once led by 10 earlier this half. It's back to a 4-point game. That said, the Tigers have been in front for the majority of this game. Jai Bailey going to work. Ball fake, puts it up and in. So a veteran move by the fifth-year senior to extend LSU's lead.
When you talk about playing off 2 feet, gather yourself, you feel the pressure, show them some candy, show them a little sugar, see if they'll take the bait. That time Dia did.
Dia fell for it. 2-possession lead. Morrell left open. Can't get the 3 to go. So Matt Morrell, it's an uncharacteristic off night. He's 1 of 5 from the field, just the 6 points.
He's got a lot of tension from LSU's defense. Everything for him has been a struggle.
That's a foul on Ole Miss.
You like this drive here. He's got a big guy on him. He senses the shot block, gathers himself, lets the blow by go, and lays it in. 2 feet, gather, easy basket.
You know, great presence of mind. That's a good awareness. He knew the shot clock was draining, but still was aware, had just enough time for that ball fake. So, Joe, latest development, 4 fouls now on Jamin Brakefield. With 7 to play, Chris Beard is leaving him in there.
I just think that's the I don't want to say desperation, but I just think he feels that he's got to have these guys on the floor because LSU is playing really well.
They've got it after the miss. This is Robert Miller. Lob it up. Corey Chess couldn't quite handle it. Bailey, though, is there to recover. And so back-to-back for Jai Bailey. 8-point lead.
That was a look what I found right there. Just walking through the lane, and the ball comes right to me, and I lay it in.
Hey, easiest deuce of the night for Bailey. And LSU is back in command. They're up 8, coming up on the 6-minute mark, in search of their first ranked win of the season. After the miss, Corey Chest with another rebound. He's got 10. Look who's open. Miller fouled. Robert Miller is going to the line. Ole Miss discombobulated. LSU making them pay.
Again, you got a little bit of guys standing around watching for Ole Miss, and LSU reacting, getting after it, finding something easy that on a night where nothing has been easy.
And so now to the free throw line, which has been the greatest adventure tonight in this game.
Ooh.
LSU has missed, boy, 9 free. They're actually below 50% at the line, LSU is. They've missed 9 free throws. Ole Miss has missed 7. But these are the moments where you must convert.
LSU's 2 best free throw shooters, Sears and Carter, right at 86% in conference. But then after that, everybody else is a little suspect. It'll be interesting to see if this plays into it down the stretch. If Ole Miss starts fouling, could get interesting.
Wow, that is another 0 for 2 trip at the line. Padula behind the back, throws it up. Corey Chess with the 11 rebounds now for the redshirt freshman from New Orleans. So it was a game in which a guy like Corey Chess could really dominate the glass, and he has. Remember the 18 rebound performance against Alabama a couple of weeks ago. He has got that motor and effort and intensity, putting it to work today. Miller on the roll to Chess. How did he miss that one? So that is consecutive sequences where he loses the ball right at the rim. Missed another putback a couple of possessions ago. But LSU dodges another bullet. Boy, they have dodged a couple of bullets here.
You can't draw this up any better. This is as good as it gets. Good find, going there.
Well, almost like trying to finesse it there at the end as opposed to just slamming it down.
Yeah, he kind of like was trying to be cute with it and throw it in instead of hammering it. You know, Collins tries to break the rim. I think that time he was trying to have a little finesse.
Well, and that shouldn't take away from a really fine evening. Odd sequence for Corey Chess, but he's got the 11 rebounds, so it's another 10-plus rebound performance for Chess. You mentioned at the top if LSU was going to be successful today, they had to take care of the basketball, and they really needed to find ways to generate offense. It had to be on the glass. They have won that battle to this point thus far.
Yeah, they have brought the energy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they have really come out, and their effort guarding the ball has been noticeably much different than it has been in the games I've watched leading up to this. Their energy on the glass has been contagious, and where everybody's going to the glass, they've shared the ball. Carter and Sears normally looking to score all the time. They've deferred, and the guys have delivered. So the more guys, if you're a great player and you defer and guys are delivering, you're going to defer more. Now, if they're not deferring, which has happened in the past with LSU, then that's when you see Carter and Sears start trying to take a lot of questionable shots because they don't trust the guys around them. Tonight, though, the guys around them are playing just tremendous ball at both ends of the floor.
It was Damian Collins in the first half. Remember, he had 13 points at the break. Corey Chest has been great on the offensive and defensive glass. Sears has come alive in this second half. Jai Bailey has 7. So just about everybody that has played has scored for LSU, all but one player. So that is 9 out of 10 that have appeared in this game. Pardon me, make it 10 out of 11. Now Sears is back at the line, where they will try to exercise the demons. This is one of the better free throw shooters in the SEC. Sears 32 for his last 34. He's been automatic of late at the line.
Yeah, if the game gets down close and Ole Miss has to start fouling Carter or Sears, that's not going to be a good recipe.
LSU has regained a double-digit advantage. For the second time tonight, they're up 10.
A little zone by LSU, trying to get a little confusion by Ole Miss.
That's a foul on Chess. They're going to get him for the technical foul. So, by the way, let's take a peek at this note. LSU 11-0 when leading with 5 minutes to go. But that is just an uncharacteristic loss of focus there, if you will, for Corey Chest, who knocked the ball out of Davis's hands here after he got whistled for the foul. So frustration was building for Chest, perhaps after the missed dunk.
Yeah, that's what are you doing, man? I mean, come on. I mean, that's maturity and immaturity. And again, I mean, kid's playing a great game. He's missed a couple dunks, big deal. I mean, get over it. Okay? Yep. Don't let it bleed into what it just bled into there, frustration.
Yeah,
you missed a dunk. Nobody cares, okay? You're playing your rear end off. You're playing good. You're giving us energy. Keep doing it, man. Okay? You're going to get a lot of opportunities, but that's just straight immaturity.
Yeah, very rare. Yeah, a rare loss of focus there. So he must now regain his composure, like you said, on a very active and productive day for Corey Chest. So this is the second time today Ole Miss has shot technical free throws. Jalen Murray, 82% at the line, team best. So it comes at an inauspicious time for LSU. I suppose technical foul is never at an auspicious time, but right after they had retaken that 10-point lead. And so now they will assess the personal foul, or we will play out the personal foul, if you will, because that was a reach-in foul on Chest. And so that was going to send Dre Davis to the line for 2 anyway. So this is going to be 4 consecutive free throws. They're 3 of 3 now. That's 3 fouls on Corey Chest. Boy, so that is as favorable a sequence for Ole Miss as it gets. Davis, by the way, with 20. So he ties his season high.
I think in that sequence you saw maturity versus immaturity.
Yep. 3 up in the air. Carter knocks it down.
You can't lose him. And they lost him on that little baseline screen. He comes off clean. Nobody hedges out, no hand. That's money.
Let's see if Padula can answer. Padula left the 3 short. Regathers, and it's a new 20 for Ole Miss. Padula aggressive, right into the paint. Corey Chest rips it away. And now LSU slow to bring it up. approaching the 4-minute mark. It's a 9-point lead for LSU.
Can a team that's 1-9 in conference and struggled down the stretch finish the game?
This would be their best win, their first against a ranked opponent this year, if they can close it out. Sears throws it up. Sears is fouled. 3:57 to go. LSU is in position, Joe, up 9.
And this guy right here is going to get him to the finish line. And if he gets looks like that and can size it up like that and get those puppies set like that, it's going to be a good night in Baton Rouge.
The slick trick. Could you handle it?
Come on.
No, I think so. Oh, that's fun. So stick around.
Slate Train would have some snacks or some beverages on the train. I know Slate Train. I'll ride on that train, baby.
Listen, you got an hour. You got to stay fueled and focused. So the crew is going to break down the full day here around the SEC. And will they be breaking down perhaps an upset, if you want to call it that? A lot of folks might view it that way. Ole Miss been ranked just about every week of the season. Started 15-2. They got the 6-4 league mark. LSU, meanwhile, has lost 5 in a row. They have been there on a number of occasions. They have been in the fight. Today, they have displayed great intensity, great effort. They have hounded Ole Miss defensively, especially in this second half, holding the Rebels to 25% shooting from the floor. This is Matt Morrell, attacks and scores. So that erases LSU's 11-point lead for a moment there. That was the largest advantage of the night. 3:30 to go. Sears nearly trapped. This is Chest. Gives it up to Bailey, wide open. Passes up the 3. They're going to use some clock.
You can see they're going to try to double every now and then, get the ball out of the playmaker's hands, let other people hurt them. But again, when you do that, that guy comes free.
There is their prolific scorer, Cam Carter. Back in his home state, he's got 16.
If you're Ole Miss, you got to pretty much play perfect the rest of the way down the stretch on both ends of the floor to even have a chance.
Murray can't throw it in. New 20. Morrell passes up the 3. Morrell goes up, draws the foul on Bailey. So a veteran move there to get 2 freebies.
You get LSU got Ole Miss scrambling a little bit, and then a nice little shove by the veteran Carter, and the step through with the big stride and the easy deuce late in the game.
You know, it was not the prettiest start for Cam Carter. It was a little difficult. They were defending him well in that first half. Boy, he has got an elite mentality, a mentality that was made for this league, I should say, because he has stayed in it as he normally does. 4 triples, 6 out of 13 from the floor. He's got 16, just about at his season average. So the go-to playmaker with some critical baskets when his team needs it most.
Well, his attitude is good.
Yes.
And his playmaking today, he hasn't panicked. He hasn't got upset early on. He's let the game come to him, and he's delivered.
It's a big basketball weekend, by the way, in Baton Rouge. You got a top 25 women's showdown tomorrow. It's on ESPN. And so will they get the party started right here in Baton Rouge? There's still 2:35 to go. Joe, you said it right. I mean, if you're Ole Miss, you really need just about everything going your way the rest of this one. Carter into the paint, lost the dribble. That's going to be a walk, traveling violation. So there's the turnover.
Now you got to go down, and what you got to do if you're Ole Miss, you're at the point now where you need points. You got to take that first good look. It might be a clean look at a three. It might be a drive. You don't have time to come down here now and reverse, and probe, and probe, and probe. That first good opportunity you get, you got to be ready to pull up and knock it down and get up on D.
Jamin Brakefield into the paint, back out to Padula. Crossover, dumps it off. Back out to Murray. That's a contested three. Davis, second effort, headed to the line. So they will get free throws, and Davis with 2 here can try to get it back to a 7-point game.
Boy, again, I thought they had a couple looks early in that possession that they passed up. Again, you can do that early in the game, but at that point, I thought Morrell and even Padula had a good look at a three, and they passed them up. Davis bails them out if he can make one of these free throws.
Yeah, Padula, he had the straight-on three, wide open look at it, and instead kicked over to Murray. Dre Davis, on what has been one of his finer performances of the season. 2 critical misses, but a new opportunity. Murray misses, still free. Who wants it? Brakefield draws the foul, and so Jamin Brakefield gets hit. He's going to the line. So let's just do this sequence over one more time with maybe 10 less seconds.
You missed 2 free throws. You're thinking, oh, LSU, we're gonna go down there. They're gonna foul us. We're gonna walk this thing in. But again, the effort and the tenacity of Ole Miss and Chris Beard, there's no give up in this bunch. They're gonna play this thing to the end. You're gonna have to beat them. There's not gonna be anything given.
Well, you've got 2 players on the floor now for LSU. That's Robert Miller and Corey Chest. They both are playing with 4 fouls. Brakefield, 72% at the line. This is the steady, poised Oxford veteran. First season at Duke. Spent the last 4 at Ole Miss. 142 career games. So the veteran knocks down a pair. 2:04 to go. And Damian Collins will now check in for Miller. Sits down with the 4 fouls.
Now look for Ole Miss to blitz, trap, either Carter or Sears to try to get the ball out of the hands. But when you do that, you expose your defense. Can you make the extra passes to find the players to make the baskets?
Bailey into the front court, walks right into the trap. This one is free. Ole Miss basketball. They force the turnover with 1:54 to go. Jason Baker is signaling, let's go to the monitor, look to make sure we're inside of the final 2 minutes here.
And again, in this league, you got to be strong. If you're going to go over there and pick up your dribble, man, you better chin that thing. And
the previous out of bounds call is
better
under
be
further
hanging on
review.
for
The
dear
call
life.
on the floor is red ball. We will check the out of bounds and the clock.
Well, this one's going to be difficult to assess perhaps from that vantage point. Joe, I thought right here, this one, yeah, I don't know if I see anything that indicates.
You can't I don't see anything that you can overturn it with. I mean, that looks like an Ole Miss ball because that's what the call was. Maybe right here you can see something.
Well, that is the important caveat, is that it was ruled Ole Miss basketball.
Ball's out right there. Yeah, that's Ole Miss ball. And again, see how the ball's away from him
The
there,
previous
Kevin?
out of bounds call of being red ball has been confirmed. It is Red's ball. On the baseline, the clock has been adjusted to 1:55.
Now, again, LSU hasn't been in a whole lot of games like this. Ole Miss has. I mean, and there's a big, and you have veteran guys that have been playing together in Ole Miss, guys that haven't really played and been in situations like this. We'll see if the experience and the maturity of Ole Miss kind of creeps into these last 2 minutes.
So the replay review rules red ball turnover. Josh Allen all over again for your Chiefs. Tomorrow, with 24 hours now. Not quite as significant a moment. Ole Miss, though, trying to mount the comeback. Brakefield to the rim. 5-point game, 1:40 to go. Timeout, Chris Beard. all of a sudden the complexion of this one has flipped after the free throws, after the offensive rebounds, turnover, basket, 5-point game.
And again, this is a veteran team. They're not looking up there going, oh my gosh, we got to get 2 or 3 threes. They're like, man, we need points. And we need to get this thing downhill. A little brush screen by Padula, and he's going right downhill for the finish. Just a nice play and a great read and a strong finish by Brakefield. Now you get the chance to set up your press, get organized defensively. What do you want to do? If we're going to foul, who do you want to foul? And you can kind of get organized and maybe get another turnover, get a missed free throw. But what you got to do here that they haven't done all night long is if they do shoot it, you got to get this rebound. And old LSU has been doing a great job of keeping that ball alive and getting second chance opportunities.
Chris Beard's Rebels defeated this team in early January. It was a close game in the first. They really blew them out in the second. Cam Carter all the way to the basket. Carter couldn't finish. There was some contact. Brakefield has it. Padula now across the timeline. Eyes up. Padula on the attack. Draws the foul. And so Padula is going to the line to potentially get it back to a one-possession game. 1:29 to go.
I don't know on that. On Carter's drive, I mean, there's contact there, but was there contact on the other end? Yeah, I don't know.
Sean Padula, now you have your senior, 80% free throw shooter, drills the first at the line.
I want it to be made official. I'm glad I'm not official.
It's difficult in the moment.
Yeah.
One possession game, and all of a sudden, a 10-2 Rebels run right after LSU took an 11-point lead. So the complexion of this one is totally changed.
I think you got to try to get somebody going downhill to the basket, because I think you might get a call if there's some contact.
Sears picks up the dribble. Sears, what is he going to do there? Matt McMahon says, enough of this. Let's take a timeout with 1:11 to go.
You keep dribbling over to the sideline. That's the second time they dribble over to the sideline. The sideline's an extra defender, and you pick up your dribble on the sideline. If you're going to go, go. But you can't just dribble over there to be dribbling over there and then pick up your dribble without a purpose or without some kind of outlet. Because I can promise you, with Ole Miss, you dribble over there and get two guys close together, they're trapping you, especially in this situation.
Against that pressure D. And so all of a sudden, the giveaways are beginning to plague LSU down the stretch. Had the 2 turnovers in the first half. They've got 7, many of them in the last couple of minutes here. So, Joe, it's just a few moments ago, 68-57 lead for LSU with 3:15 to play. They took an 11-point advantage. And then 10-2 run now for the Rebels. LSU has it, though, 11 on the shot clock.
You got to think that the ball's going to somehow end up in Carter's hands for a drive or some way coming off a screen to get a good look.
Here's Sears. They're looking for Carter. Carter in the corner. Feed it to Chest, and he draws the foul. Corey Chest going to the line.
And again, you get your best player. When he's coming off, he's going to get a lot of attention. Good find. But now, you got a young man who earlier in the game shot an air ball at the free throw line. I don't wish anything bad on him, but you got to know that in his head, there's lacking a little confidence.
LSU's high motor post player from New Orleans. 1 of 4 at the line today, and now he's 1 out of 5. LSU has missed a boatload of free throws. 10 now. Pardon me, that's 11 misses, and Chest comes up empty again. The door is wide open for the Rebels. Davis lost it, got it back, kicked out of bounds, stays here with Ole Miss. So they get a new 20 after a weird sequence. 2 missed free throws, and then LSU boots it out of bounds. 57.7 to go. The Rebels are charging.
Yeah, Ole Miss is attacking. They're in attack mode and don't look for anything to change on this inbounds play.
Morrell has it in the corner. Matt Morrell. It's guarded by Jai Bailey. 12 seconds on the timer. Morrell pounds it with the left. Back out to Brakefield. Throws it up. Puts in the 3. It's a tie game. It's a 13-2 Ole Miss run in the last 2.5 minutes.
Clutch find. Clutch shot by the veterans.
So now what does LSU have as a response? Carter, offensive foul. With 28.1 to go, Ole Miss will have it.
And here's the 3 by Brakefield. It's just good action. Collins gives him too much. He's trying to protect the rim, gives him too much of a cushion. And then here, when you extend that arm, you're just asking for it. I mean, it could go either way. And again, I don't want to be official. It's impossible. But anytime they see that off arm extending a little bit, it's always subject to get a foul call.
25 seconds here. The Rebels do have a timeout, and Chris Beard is going to use it. 23.8 to go. And 11-0 Ole Miss run has erased the deficit. And we are knotted up at 70.
Good teams that are on a roll and winning, they find ways to win. And Ole Miss right here, they're attacking. They're not settling for threes. They're taking the ball to the rim. They're driving it. They're trying to chip away at it. They're finding points. And then when they need a 3, they find a guy that's a really good 44% three-point shooter in the SEC. Get him a set shot, wide open look, and a clutch make by Brakefield, and an even better find by Morrell.
This game has completely flipped in less than 3 minutes. Cam Carter put in a layup with 3:15 to go on the timer that put LSU up 70-59. And since then, an 11-0 run. There's what's at stake. LSU 0-4 against ranked opponents this year. The Rebels have come back and erased double-digit deficits 3 times. Is it going to be the 4th? They have it with a chance to get out of here with a win. 23.8 to go, and the shot clock is off.
And don't be surprised if you see some kind of similar action with Brakefield at the high post, setting the ball screen, putting pressure on Collins to either help on the drive or stay at home on Brakefield for the 3 or the drive in the late clock.
9 seconds to go. This is Murray. Picks up the dribble, finds Brakefield. Padula has it. 4 seconds. Padula on the drive. Padula, tap back, and in! No time on the clock. Ole Miss 72, LSU 70. But we've got the official signaling we're going to the timer.
Nice play. They get it to Brakefield at the high post and get Padula with the handoff on the rub. And as he's coming off that rub, he's going downhill. He gets the guy on his hip, and now everybody's helping. And when you help, you're susceptible to that.
Trey Davis with the tip-in that might have just sealed the win. So that goes through the hoop.
Of offensive basket interference that was called on the floors under further review.
And so there was an offensive basket interference called on the floor. So that this one actually was waved off in the moment.
No.
Oh,
that's good.
I think they may count that.
Yeah, that's off the rim.
Yeah. Davis waiting for just the split second to tap it back in. It's got to be clear of the cylinder. and if that goes,
that's going to count.
And they count it, and we've got to wait and determine, are they going to put any more time on the clock? This one went through with what, maybe 0.2, 0.1, if that?
Yeah, that's got to be what they're looking at now. But if whatever's left on the clock is not going to be a lot. But again, even both of those guys, you saw Brakefield coming in there with two hands, and both of them had the poise to kind of, let it go. But again, just a great job. And when you get somebody driving downhill late, people, it's going to draw attention. You see 1, 2, 3 guys, LSU looking or going for the ball there. Nobody boxes out. When things are good and you're a good team, you find ways to get it done. And it looks like to me that LSU had this game the whole way. It's just free throws and just a couple things didn't go their way, but
again, it was ruled on the floor, offensive basket interference. And we think we may see something definitive that suggests that Davis basket would count. Will it, number one? And would there be any time on the clock?
Point one is going to be put on.
So we just heard from Jason Baker. They are counting the basket. Dre Davis on one of the best nights of his career, and particularly in an Ole Miss uniform, the presence to wait to tap it back in by a fraction to put the visitors ahead 72-70. Now, our officials, Joe, they're going to put 0.1 on the clock. There is not much you can do here.
The previous play of offensive basket interference, that call has been reversed. The ball was clearly off the basket. Counts for Ole Miss. They've been awarded 2 points. LSU ball on the baseline with 1/10 of a second, which is when the ball passed through the net.
Wow, 1/10, and again, you can't advance the ball, of course, here on the men's game. So you've just got to chuck it now if you're LSU.
It's got to be a tip in.
And you've got to tap it in here from 94 feet. By the way, John Bull, the 7-footer, just checked that he's going to guard the ball here. Now Sear's going to try to do the screen. The heave. Game over. Ole Miss with an incredible 13-0